Have you ever wondered what really happens after death? Death is a dimension. Shift reveals that consciousness never truly ends. It simply moves to another frequency. As you listen, you'll discover how the thoughts and emotions you cultivate now shape the realms you will inhabit beyond the physical. Are you ready to see life, death, and existence as a seamless journey of vibration? Death is a dimension shift. Introduction. The veil between worlds is thinner than most ever perceive. What mortals call death is but consciousness shifting its attention, like turning the dial on a cosmic radio to a frequency unseen. Just as water transforms from liquid to vapor yet remains water, your awareness flows between realms while retaining its true essence. The laws that govern manifestation do not end with the physical. They extend into every subtle plane of existence. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs act as coordinates, guiding your spirit toward the experiences that resonate with your inner state. Masters across the ages have emphasized this truth. The cultivation of elevated consciousness in life shapes not only this world, but the worlds that follow. Every moment spent in fear, anger, or despair casts a vibration that echoes beyond the physical, attracting similar conditions in subtler realms. Conversely, each instant filled with love, peace, and understanding attunes your being to realms of light and harmony. Your present emotional state is not only creating your current reality, it is scripting your future dimensional address. The ultimate secret is that consciousness never dies. It simply shifts its focus, continuing its journey as a traveler changes vehicles. The quality of that journey depends on the energy and awareness you cultivate in every present moment. Seen through this lens, death is no ending. It is a doorway, revealing the vibrational level you have practiced inhabiting. Your thoughts are the blueprints, your feelings the materials, and your love the bridge, connecting every phase of your eternal journey. By living in this awareness, you come to understand that every thought, every emotion is shaping not only the life you now inhabit, but the infinite realms that await beyond the veil. Before we get into the book, comment, "I am ready," to affirm your intention to the universe. Part 1. The Hidden Door Within Life. Chapter 1. The Gentle Veil. The veil between worlds is thinner than you imagine. Take the wisdom shared by those who have glimpsed beyond the threshold of physical existence. Their experiences illuminate the profound truth that your state of consciousness shapes not only your present reality, but also your journey through dimensions. In a quiet hospital room, Polly Mae Carter witnessed her grandmother's final moments that revealed the graceful nature of transition. Her grandmother spoke of light not as harsh or blinding, but as a gentle touch, describing her passage as simply stepping through silk. This testament speaks to an essential truth. The quality of your transition mirrors the vibration you carry within. Just as water takes the shape of its container, consciousness flows into the form of your deepest expectations and beliefs. When you approach the unknown with fear, your awareness contracts, creating a narrow passage. But when you meet it with openness and curiosity, your consciousness expands into infinite possibility. The realms that await are not distant locations to reach, but frequencies that resonate with your inner state. Your consciousness naturally gravitates toward the vibrations that match its own song. This understanding was beautifully exemplified through Wendell Ross's near-transition experience, where the solid walls of his room became transparent, and every sound carried the essence of memory. His account reveals how reality responds to the focus of consciousness, whether embodied in physical form or freed from it. These experiences teach that death is not a leap into darkness, but a shift in perception. Like tuning a radio to a different frequency, your awareness simply adjusts to perceive the subtler vibrations that have always existed alongside the physical world. Ancient practice of vibrational attunement. Find a quiet moment each day to practice this sacred preparation. Allow the weight of daily concerns to gradually dissolve until your awareness expands beyond the rhythm of your breath. Notice the seemingly empty space between objects around you. It pulses with living intelligence, waiting to be recognized. As you rest in this expanded state, you naturally align with the broader spectrum of existence. This gentle relaxation serves as a rehearsal for the great shift, teaching your consciousness to move freely between dimensions, while still anchored in physical form. Through this practice, you begin to understand that what appears as death is simply consciousness flowing into its next expression, guided by the vibration you cultivate in each present moment. Chapter 2. The Mirror of Vibration. In a quiet garden, Dorothy Quinn discovered a truth that would alter her understanding of existence itself. Each morning, as sunlight spilled across her flower beds, she noticed something extraordinary. Her plants responded not to the expensive fertilizers or precise watering schedules, but to the vibration of her songs. When she hummed ancient melodies passed down through generations, her roses bloomed with unprecedented vigor, and her lilies reached skyward with newfound vitality. This truth extends far beyond the realm of gardens. You, too, are constantly broadcasting a frequency that shapes the very fabric of your reality. Like Dorothy's flowers, the universe responds not to your words, but to the energy you emanate. Your thoughts and emotions create ripples in the cosmic field, attracting experiences that mirror your inner state. The law of vibration reveals that every thought carries a specific frequency. Those who understand this principle recognize that conscious evolution isn't about forcing change, but about tuning your inner instrument to harmonize with higher possibilities. When you align with frequencies of abundance and joy, the universe must, by its very nature, reflect these qualities back to you. Clarence Boyd's revelatory dream stands as testament to this truth. In his vision, he faced a mirror that showed not one, but countless versions of himself, each existing in parallel dimensions, each awaiting activation through the power of choice. This mirror revealed that every decision point serves as a gateway to alternate realities, each vibrating at frequencies determined by your emotional signature. Just as Dorothy's garden responded to her songs, your consciousness orchestrates which dimensional experiences you attract, both now and in the realms that await beyond physical form. Your thoughts and feelings are not merely internal experiences. They are magnetic forces drawing you toward realities that match their frequency. Ancient practice. The dimensional attunement. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and summon the feeling of pure gratitude within your heart. Let this emotion fill your entire being. Don't simply think about gratitude, become gratitude itself. Stay with this vibration until you notice subtle changes in the energy around you. You might sense a gentle tingling, a slight shift in the quality of air, or a warming presence. This sensation signals your alignment with higher dimensional frequencies, confirming your natural belonging to more expansive realms of existence. Practice this attunement daily, allowing yourself to become increasingly sensitive to the subtle ways reality responds to your inner state. Chapter 3. The River That Remembers. In the sacred wisdom preserved through time, a truth emerges that speaks to the fluid nature of consciousness itself. Near a winding river, Sadie Jo Perkins sat with her sketchbook, intending to capture the landscape before her. As her pencil touched paper, something miraculous occurred. The drawings that emerged were not of her own creation. Faces materialized on the page, each bearing expressions of ineffable peace, smiling without mouths, as if speaking a language beyond physical form. Within this experience lies an eternal truth. Consciousness, like water, holds the memory of all it touches. Just as a river carries fragments of earth and mineral from distant mountains, your thoughts and actions create currents that flow through the fabric of existence. These currents, whether born of kindness or discord, inevitably return to their source, completing a cosmic circle that knows no end. The transition you call death flows as naturally as a river, meeting the vast expanse of the sea. Harold Dean Lasky's account speaks to this truth. In his moment of transition, he found himself dissolving into light that rippled with familiar patterns, identical to the creek where he had spent his childhood summers. In that crystalline moment of recognition, he understood that the universe itself was composed of flowing thought, a vast network of consciousness moving like water through infinite channels. This revelation unveils a profound principle. Every emotion you experience is in constant motion, seeking its way back to the source of all being, love itself. Just as water never truly disappears but changes form, your consciousness flows eternal, finding new expressions across dimensions of existence. Practice for vibrational alignment. Find a quiet moment each day to observe your feelings as ripples on a cosmic stream. Release each thought and emotion downstream with gentleness and trust, knowing they will return to you transformed by the journey. As you breathe, imagine your consciousness flowing like clear water, carrying your intentions toward peaceful shores. This ancient practice opens channels through which universal wisdom can flow, preparing you for the greater expansions that await. Remember, your thoughts create currents in the infinite ocean of consciousness. Send forth only those vibrations you wish to receive when the tide returns. In this way, you become both the river and the sea, the giver and receiver of life's eternal flow. Chapter 4. The Lighthouse Within. Like ripples in an infinite pool, consciousness carries the memory of every moment. Through the ages, this wisdom has flowed, teaching that nothing in the universe is ever truly lost. It simply changes form, like water transforming from river to cloud to rain. Millie Rose Pappas understood this truth through the foghorns that called across the harbor. Each deep, resonant note seemed to pierce the veil between worlds, guiding ships through the uncertainty of mist and shadow. In her moments of stillness, when the world grew quiet and her breath settled into rhythm, she discovered something remarkable. A similar tone, pulsing within her own chest, keeping perfect time with the distant stars. This inner resonance speaks to the eternal nature of guidance. Just as foghorns light the way through physical darkness, your inner beacon remains steady through all transitions. Even in death's mysterious fog, this frequency of truth continues its gentle pull, drawing consciousness toward its ultimate reunion with Source. In the depths of night, Frankie Dell received a vision that unveiled this sacred principle. He saw himself ascending beams of pure light, each one a ladder leading back to those he cherished most. His experience reveals that separation is merely an illusion born of temporary vibrational difference. Those we love are never truly gone. We simply oscillate at different frequencies for a time, like radio stations waiting to be tuned in once more. The universe operates through this principle of energetic attraction and resonance. Every soul maintains its unique signature frequency, a cosmic address that can always be found by those who know how to listen. Death does not sever these connections. It only shifts them to more subtle octaves of existence. This ancient knowledge offers a practice passed down through generations of wisdom keepers. Take a moment now to rest your attention just behind your sternum in the sacred center of your chest. Feel for the warm pulse of light that dwells there, steady and true as a lighthouse beam. Let this inner lantern guide you, calling lost fragments of your being back to wholeness with infinite patience and care. Follow this resonance like a thread of gold, knowing it connects you to all that you love across every dimension of existence. Chapter 5. The Map Made of Feeling. The language of the universe speaks through feeling, not words. In every moment, your emotional state broadcasts a signal that draws matching experiences into your field of awareness, like a cosmic positioning system guiding you home. Betsy Lynn. Georgiou discovered this truth in an unusual way. Though she rarely left her small town, she experienced powerful waves of recognition in unfamiliar places. Streets she had never walked felt intimately known. Buildings she had never seen welcomed her like old friends. At first, these experiences puzzled her, until she realized that emotion, not geography, created the true map of existence. What Betsy encountered reveals a fundamental principle. Your inner state serves as an infallible compass, continuously aligning you with experiences that mirror your dominant frequency. When you radiate joy, you naturally gravitate toward circumstances that amplify that vibration. When fear clouds your heart, reality seems to contract around you, reflecting that constriction back through external events. This truth became crystal clear through Freddie Crow's remarkable experience. During a profound meditative state, he witnessed how his consciousness painted reality in real time. As waves of joy moved through him, entire cities materialized, built from pure light and color. These magnificent structures stood as physical representations of his elevated state. Yet when doubt crept in, these radiant metropolises dissolved like morning mist, replaced by landscapes that matched his lower vibration. Freddie's vision unveils the mechanism through which consciousness creates reality, both in this dimension and the next. Your emotional climate doesn't just influence your perception, it literally constructs the world you inhabit. Each feeling generates a unique energetic signature that attracts corresponding circumstances, people, and opportunities. This principle operates with perfect precision whether you walk in physical form or journey beyond it. The laws of attraction remain constant across all planes of existence. Just as a radio must tune to specific frequencies to receive certain stations, Your consciousness must align with particular vibrational states to experience corresponding realities. Your emotions serve as the dial, constantly tuning you to different channels of experience. In accordance with this timeless wisdom, here lies a sacred practice passed down through ages. Throughout your day, pause to notice the emotional weather patterns moving through your being. Observe how your inner state paints the world around you in its own colors. See joy brightening the sky, peace softening harsh edges, love making everything glow with inner light. Recognize that you forever move within a living artwork of your own creation, your feelings becoming the very landscape you inhabit. In this awareness lies the power to consciously shape not only your current reality, but the dimensions that await beyond physical form. Chapter 6. The Quiet Gatekeeper. In the heart of every soul lies an eternal library where wisdom accumulates like precious volumes waiting to be opened. This truth emerged through Ruby Ann Keller's transformative dream, a vision that unveiled the deeper mechanics of universal organization. In her dream state, she encountered not the stern judgment many fear, but rather a wise librarian who sorted souls with the delicate discernment of a master perfumer. Through this vision, a profound truth unfolds. The universe catalogues experience not through rigid moral absolutes, but through the subtle frequencies of being. Just as fragrances naturally sort themselves into families, floral with floral, earth with earth, consciousness arranges itself by resonance. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs create a unique energetic signature, an essence that naturally gravitates toward its vibrational matches. The universe operates as a vast library of light, where each soul's frequency determines its natural place among the infinite shelves of experience. This ordering principle transcends human concepts of reward and punishment, operating instead through pure harmonic law. Like seeks-like, resonance attracts resonance, and each consciousness finds its way to the section of reality that matches its inner tone. Leonard Pike's near-death experience during surgery brought this truth into sharp focus. As his awareness expanded beyond his physical form, he found himself drifting through an immense repository of light. There, knowledge itself possessed a voice, humming the eternal truth that every perceived ending simply marks a new chapter in the soul's ongoing story. Each transition serves as an index, directing consciousness to its next volume of experience. These experiences reveal that growth itself is a process of self-categorization, as natural as books finding their proper places on cosmic shelves. Your consciousness, through its unique vibrational signature, files itself into ever-expanding levels of understanding. Death then becomes not an ending but a reclassification, a gentle shifting from one shelf of experience to another. Ancient practice. Begin by settling into a comfortable position, allowing your breath to flow naturally. With each inhalation, imagine you're breathing in the essence of timeless wisdom, as if each breath carries the fragrant chapters of ancient texts. Let each exhalation release any resistance to understanding. Feel how this wisdom naturally perfumes your thoughts with the familiar scent of home, like returning to a beloved library where every book knows your name. Continue this practice until you sense your consciousness expanding into broader awareness, naturally finding its place in the universal catalog of being. Chapter 7. The Bridge of Sound. In the depths of time, a profound truth has echoed through the corridors of existence. Sound weaves the fabric between worlds. This wisdom surfaced through Nancy Lou Petros, who brought comfort through simple melodies played on her ukulele in the quiet halls of hospice care. As her gentle tunes filled the air, something remarkable occurred. Harmonies emerged from seemingly empty spaces, weaving with her music in perfect resonance. This sacred experience unveils a fundamental principle. Sound transcends the physical realm. The vibrations we create do not vanish into nothingness but transform, shifting from one dimension to another like light passing through crystal. Each note carries eternal life, moving beyond the limitations of material existence into realms where frequency dances freely. The universe itself is an infinite orchestra, each soul contributing its unique melody to the cosmic symphony. This truth became brilliantly clear through Chester Vane's extraordinary journey. During his near-transition experience, as his consciousness floated above earthly form, he discovered a magnificent revelation. Every piece of music that had touched his heart, every melody that had moved his soul, had woven itself into a personal symphony. His life's emotional journey had composed itself into paradise. This experience illuminates an essential teaching. The music of your emotions orchestrates the harmonies of higher dimensions. Every feeling of joy, every moment of love, every expression of gratitude creates notes in an eternal composition. What we perceive as heaven is not a distant realm, but the accumulated resonance of our heart's most beautiful frequencies. The barrier between dimensions is thinner than a whisper, more permeable than morning mist. Through sound, we discover the bridge that connects all states of being. The frequencies of love, hope, and peace transcend physical boundaries, reaching across the subtle divide to touch realms beyond ordinary perception. Just as water transforms from solid to liquid to vapor, while remaining essentially itself, consciousness shifts through different vibrational states while maintaining its fundamental nature. Death does not silence the soul's song. It merely changes the instrument through which the melody plays. This ancient wisdom teaches that our emotional vibrations compose the music of our eternal experience. Each kind thought, each loving gesture, each moment of joy becomes a note in the symphony that surrounds us after transition. We are all composers of infinity, conducting the orchestra of our destiny through the frequencies we choose to embody. Practice. Find a quiet space and begin humming softly, allowing the vibration to arise naturally from your heart center. Notice how the sound seems to create a field of resonance around you, as if the very air responds with its own subtle harmony. Feel how the vibration connects you to something vast and eternal, proving that true melody, like consciousness itself, can never be extinguished, only transformed. Chapter 8. The Golden Thread of Attention. The threads that bind consciousness stretch far beyond what mortal eyes perceive. Through the mists of time, this truth has emerged again and again, whispering to those who pause long enough to listen. In the tapestry of existence, your attention acts as a golden needle, weaving patterns that transcend the illusion of separation. Just as Lila June Macris discovered when familiar faces from her childhood appeared in dreams, bearing messages of remembrance. These weren't mere phantoms of memory, but living strands of connection reaching across the veil of time. The universe operates through an intricate network of awareness. Each thought you direct toward another creates an energetic bridge, a luminous pathway that defies the constraints of physical reality. When you hold someone in your heart, you establish a vibrational link that neither distance nor death can sever. Milton Rhodes's experience above the hospital bed unveiled this eternal truth. As he floated in that space between worlds, he witnessed how every prayer manifested as gleaming chords of light, each one anchoring him to those who held him in their thoughts. These weren't mere symbolic visions. They were glimpses into the actual architecture of consciousness, revealing how love creates tangible pathways between dimensions. Think of your consciousness as a weaver at an infinite loom. Every loving thought you generate sends forth threads of light, creating connections that persist beyond the boundaries of physical existence. These bonds remain intact, regardless of whether those you love occupy earthly form or have transitioned to other realms of being. When you understand this principle, death loses its power to separate. Those who have passed beyond the physical plane remain connected through these radiant filaments of attention and love. They exist in parallel dimensions, tethered to you through the golden threads of consciousness you've woven together. The great mind designed existence as an interconnected web of awareness. Within this cosmic framework, your focused attention becomes a tool of infinite power. Where you direct your thoughts, energy follows, creating bridges between realms that appear separate to the untrained eye. Practice. Close your eyes and envision each loving thought as a strand of golden light extending from your heart. See these luminous filaments stretching outward, connecting you to everyone you've ever loved. Feel how these threads of light pulse with living energy, transcending time and space. Allow yourself to rest in the knowing that through these connections you remain eternally linked to all that you love, united in the endless dance of consciousness. Chapter 9. The Meadow Beyond Sleep. Through time immemorial, the veil between worlds has been as delicate as morning mist. You need only attune your awareness to glimpse the gossamer strands that connect all states of being. Every night, as you lay your head to rest, you practice the gentle art of transition. Consider the tale of Georgia May Frosini, who emerged from the depths of a coma with memories of meadows that breathed like living velvet. In those sacred moments between worlds, she walked through fields that responded to her presence, each blade of grass singing with conscious life. Her experience unveils an essential truth. The dream state serves as a sacred rehearsal hall where your spirit practices the dance of transition. When your body enters rest, your consciousness naturally drifts into these ethereal realms, collecting treasures of wisdom from beyond the physical plane. These moments of peaceful surrender teach you that crossing between states of being requires nothing more than gentle acceptance. Calvin Boone's experience under sedation reveals another layer of this timeless wisdom. Upon awakening, he spoke of possessing two sunsets, one for each side of reality. His words illuminate the profound understanding that transitions between states of consciousness are as natural as day flowing into night. The boundaries we perceive are merely different angles of the same light, different verses of the same song. The golden threads of your attention weave seamlessly between these realms, creating bridges of light that your consciousness traverses with ease. Each night, as sleep approaches, you stand at the threshold of this sacred practice. Your awareness naturally knows the way, for it has been making this journey since the beginning of time. Sacred practice. As you prepare for sleep each night, envision yourself walking into luminous fields. Feel the soft earth beneath your feet, the gentle breeze carrying whispers of recognition. Greet the familiar energies that await you there, knowing they have always been part of your eternal journey. Let yourself merge with the peace of these realms, trusting that each awakening brings you closer to the truth of your infinite nature. Allow this practice to remind you that you will always return more alive, more aware, more aligned with the endless dance of consciousness. Chapter 10. The Door That Opens Inward. In the depths of stillness lies a truth so ancient it predates the stars themselves. Ellie Ray Cantos discovered this wisdom not through books or teachers, but through the sacred practice of inner silence. As she sat in meditation day after day, she began to witness something extraordinary. Portals of light blooming not in the space before her, but within the sanctuary of her own heart. This revelation unveils a profound understanding. The doorways to higher realms do not exist in some distant place, but in the innermost chamber of your being. What appears as physical death is merely consciousness completing its circle, returning to the infinite source from which it emerged. The journey home requires no movement through space, only a gentle turning of awareness toward its origin. Tommy Giannos's experience further illuminates this eternal truth. During a profound spiritual awakening, he witnessed streams of radiant light emanating not from the heavens above, but from within his own breath. Each inhalation revealed layers of luminosity. Each exhalation dissolved the boundaries between self and cosmos. His journey teaches that eternity is not a destination but a recognition, an intimate remembrance of what you have always been. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, has placed the keys to transcendence within your very essence. Every heartbeat contains the rhythm of creation. Every breath holds the mystery of existence. When you truly understand this, fear of death transforms into recognition of life's continuous unfoldment. The veils between dimensions exist only in perception. As your awareness deepens, you begin to sense that physical form is but one expression of your eternal nature. The body is not a prison from which consciousness must escape, but a vessel through which infinite awareness experiences itself in time and space. Ancient mystics spoke of this truth, that enlightenment comes not from reaching outward, but from turning inward. You need not search the horizons for passages to other realms. Your own being is the bridge between worlds. Practice. Find a quiet space and settle into comfortable stillness. Close your eyes and begin to breathe slowly and deeply. With each breath, imagine the universe expanding not outward into space, but inward through your heart center. Feel this cosmic unfoldment within your own being until peace becomes boundless, radiating from your core. Stay with this expansion until all notions of endings and death dissolve into the infinite ocean of consciousness that you are. Let this practice remind you that transcendence is not a journey to somewhere else, but an awakening to what has always been present within you. Part 2. The Journey Through Light. Chapter 11. The Frequency of Forgiveness. In the depths of stillness lies a truth so ancient it predates the stars themselves. Ellie Ray Cantos discovered this wisdom not through books or teachers, but through the sacred practice of inner silence. As she sat in meditation day after day, she began to witness something extraordinary. Portals of light blooming not in the space before her, but within the sanctuary of her own heart. This revelation unveils a profound understanding. The doorways to higher realms do not exist in some distant place, but in the innermost chamber of your being. What appears as physical death is merely consciousness completing its circle, returning to the infinite source from which it emerged. The path to transcendence winds not outward but inward, through layers of self-discovery that reveal your eternal nature. Tommy Gianos experienced this truth during a profound spiritual awakening, where he witnessed the entire journey of light beginning within his own breath, rather than descending from above. His experience affirms that eternity is not a destination to be reached, but a state of being to be remembered through self-recognition. The universe itself expands from within your consciousness, making the physical transition nothing more profound than awareness turning back to face its origin. Clara Belzanis encountered this wisdom through a powerful dream where she stood before silver scales, weighing each regret she had carried through life. As she watched, something miraculous occurred. With each act of self-forgiveness, the scales themselves dissolved into light. This vision carries a deeper teaching. The soul cannot ascend while carrying the weight of self-judgment. The density of guilt and regret anchors consciousness to heavier vibrations, preventing its natural expansion into lighter realms. Patrick Dale's experience brings this understanding full circle. During a moment of deep contemplation, he witnessed a storm of inner turmoil dissolve instantly when he shifted from wishing things were different to simply understanding them as they were. The clouds of resistance parted, revealing that mercy toward oneself acts as a spiritual propulsion system, lifting consciousness naturally toward its highest expression. These insights point to a fundamental truth. The doorway to transformation opens not through struggle or force, but through the gentle power of self-acceptance. As you release the need to judge your journey, you free yourself to move naturally toward the light of higher understanding. Practice. Find a quiet moment and settle into comfortable stillness. Begin breathing softly, allowing each breath to carry these words within. I release myself into light. Feel the density of old judgments lifting away, like feathers finally freed from their grip. Let this gentle release become your gateway to expanded awareness. Chapter 12. The Company of Light. In ancient times, those who tended sacred flames understood they were never truly alone in their vigil. This wisdom resurfaced through Donna Lee Misko, who discovered a remarkable truth while lighting candles for those who had crossed the threshold between worlds. As she struck each match, unseen hands seemed to steady her own, their gentle presence as real as the flame itself. When you light a candle for another soul, you activate an eternal connection that transcends physical boundaries. These moments of remembrance create bridges between dimensions, allowing divine assistance to flow more freely. The universe conspires with every act of love, bringing forth helpers from realms beyond sight, who guide and support the great transition. Archie Wells glimpsed this truth in his final earthly moments. As his awareness expanded beyond the confines of his body, he found himself surrounded by countless radiant beings. In that sacred instant, he recognized them. Every person whose burden he had ever lightened, every soul he had encouraged, every heart he had touched with kindness. Each act of compassion had created a living presence that now welcomed him home. This reveals one of the most powerful laws governing the afterlife. We never journey alone. The love we give creates an eternal family that awaits us. Every kind word spoken, every tear wiped away, every moment of support freely given. These are not lost to time, but transformed into living light that illuminates our path when we need it most. The universe operates through perfect symmetry. Those you comfort in their hours of need become your comforters when the time comes. The hands you hold will reach back to hold yours. The light you shine for others becomes a constellation, guiding you home. Practice. Find a quiet moment and recall times when you offered consolation to another soul. Remember the words you spoke, the presence you maintained, the comfort you freely gave. Feel how these moments of kindness still live within you. Let yourself bathe in the awareness that each act of compassion builds your eternal welcoming committee. Know that these moments of grace are gathering like stars, forming a brilliant pathway in the dimensions that await. Chapter 13. The Ocean Between Breaths. In the depths of azure waters, wisdom flows like silent currents, carrying ancient truths to those who listen with their whole being. Such was the revelation granted to Maggie Lou Stratton during her countless ocean dives. Beneath the rolling waves, she discovered that the sea's whispers matched the cadence of her own thoughts, as though the water itself held consciousness. This experience opens a gateway to understanding the ethereal nature of breath, the sacred bridge between physical form and formless spirit. Just as water exists in multiple states, so too does the breath transcend the boundaries between dimensions. The apparent cessation of breath in what we call death is merely its transformation into a more refined state of being. When Eugene Prentice faced the terrifying moments of drowning, his consciousness expanded beyond the confines of physical respiration. In that pivotal instant, he witnessed the magnificent truth that breath continues beyond the body's limitations. As water filled his lungs, he discovered himself inhaling pure light, each luminous breath connecting him to vast expanses of awareness previously unknown. This transition mirrors the universal principle that nothing truly ends. It simply changes form. Your breath, even now, carries more than just air. It pulses with life force, with consciousness itself. Each inhalation draws in not only oxygen, but also the eternal essence that animates all existence. Each exhalation releases not just carbon dioxide, but also the limitations that bind consciousness to form. The ocean's rhythmic waves mirror the eternal pulse of being, the cosmic breath that never ceases. When physical breath appears to stop, consciousness simply attunes to its subtler manifestations. Like a diver moving from air to water, the soul shifts its medium of sustenance, breathing in the light of pure awareness. Practice. Find a quiet space and settle into a comfortable position. Allow your attention to rest gently on each inhalation, watching as it flows into your body. Observe how each breath becomes increasingly luminous, as though you're drawing in light rather than air. Notice the space between breaths, that momentary pause where time seems to suspend. In that gap lies eternity itself, the doorway to infinite awareness. Let each breath become a reminder that you are not bound by physical limitations, but are free to expand into the vast ocean of consciousness that awaits. End of scene. Chapter 14. The Hall of Memories. Between each breath lies an ocean of possibility, a vast expanse where the boundaries between worlds grow thin. When Pearl Theokalos surrendered to meditation's gentle pull, she discovered not emptiness but corridors illuminated by the living light of joy. Along these passages, every smile she had ever sparked glowed like eternal stars, teaching that each act of kindness creates its own celestial geography. The corridors she witnessed reveal a profound truth about the architecture of existence. Your actions do not vanish into void, but become the very walls and windows of your future dwelling. Each genuine smile offered, each moment of warmth shared, accumulates into the atmosphere you will inherit. This is not metaphor, but mechanism, the precise way consciousness shapes its next expression. Harvey Denton's journey deepens this understanding. In his revelatory dream, he walked through galleries where moments of shared laughter hung like masterpieces, each one perfectly preserved. Every exhibit pulsed with the energy of authentic emotion, demonstrating how heaven crafts itself from the raw material of earthly experience. His museum showed that paradise is not a distant realm, but the natural refinement of your finest moments, polished by the hand of memory into transcendent art. These experiences unveil the sacred alchemy by which human experience transmutes into eternal essence. What appears temporary proves permanent, not frozen, but alive and evolving. Your kindnesses do not simply echo, they construct. Your joys do not merely pass, they build. Each genuine connection forges a thread in the tapestry of your ongoing existence. The cosmos operates as an infinite gallery, curating every sincere moment of connection, every authentic expression of love. What we perceive as past remains eternally present, transformed into the living architecture of consciousness. This is why the quality of your presence matters so profoundly. You are not passing through life, but building it, each moment a brushstroke in an endless canvas of becoming. The universe preserves these treasures not as static records, but as dynamic seeds of continued unfoldment. When consciousness shifts beyond physical form, it finds itself in galleries of its own making, surrounded by the living light of its own best moments. This is not reward or punishment, but natural law, the precise reflection of energy's eternal nature. Ancient practice. Set aside a quiet moment as each day closes. Review your hours not as judge, but as loving curator. See each interaction, each exchange of warmth, as a precious exhibit being arranged in the gallery of your becoming. Let appreciation be your light source, illuminating even small kindnesses with gentle radiance. This is not mere reflection, but active creation. You are arranging the elements of your eternal home. Chapter 15. The Ever-Present Now. In the depths of night, Susie May Rallis clutched her blankets, mind racing with worries of all she might never experience. Yet in that moment of deepest fear, something extraordinary unfolded. Time itself seemed to crystallize, transforming into a vast, shimmering expanse where past, present, and future existed as one unified field of light. Within this luminous state, she witnessed how every moment she had ever lived or would live pulsed with equal vitality, each one eternally alive. This revelation unveils a fundamental truth about existence. Time is not a river flowing in one direction, but an ocean of infinite possibility. Beyond the physical realm, the law of attraction operates free from temporal constraints. In that dimension, your vibration draws experiences not in sequence but in sublime simultaneity. Each thought, each feeling radiates through the fabric of being, attracting its matches across all apparent time. Walter Kane's journey deepens this understanding. During a profound meditation, he perceived his many lives not as a linear chain of events, but as translucent layers of experience, all centered around a single eternal heartbeat. Each version of himself existed simultaneously, teaching him that immortality dwells not in endless duration, but in the infinite depth of the present moment. This truth liberates you from the anxious pursuit of future fulfillment. When you understand that all potential already exists within the eternal now, striving dissolves into being. Death, rather than ending experience, removes the illusion of time's progression, delivering consciousness into the full radiance of pure presence. In this light, the law of attraction reveals its deeper nature. You do not attract future experiences so much as tune into frequencies already present in the timeless field of now. Your vibration determines which layer of simultaneous reality becomes your living experience. The present practice. Find a quiet space and settle into stillness. Allow your awareness to expand until you sense the vast presence that holds this moment. Notice how this presence feels complete, lacking nothing. Let all thoughts of past and future gently dissolve into the infinite depth of now. Rest here in this timeless awareness, recognizing that this moment contains all moments. Feel how your being already touches eternity, complete and whole, needing nothing more than what is. Chapter 16. The Joy Architects. Nina Faye Poulos transformed neighborhoods with her paintbrush, turning weathered homes into beacons of joy. Each stroke flowed from an intuitive knowing that color carried healing frequencies. Through her work, she discovered that every shade resonated with specific emotional harmonies. Coral pink for comfort, turquoise for tranquility, golden yellow for inner warmth. The universe operates as a vast creative studio where your thoughts, feelings, and actions paint the landscapes of experience. Just as an artist selects colors to evoke particular moods, your emotional vibrations design the dimensions that await. Each moment of inspiration, each flash of delight, each creative impulse builds the architecture of realms yet to come. When consciousness transitions beyond physical form, it discovers that all of life's artistry crystallizes into living geometry. The joy you felt watching sunrise becomes golden archways of light. The peace of garden moments shapes ethereal valleys. The love you gave manifests as shimmering pavilions of welcome. Nothing beautiful is ever lost. It simply transmutes into the structure of your next expression. Gerald Cobb's glimpse beyond the veil revealed this profound truth. During a transcendent moment, he witnessed how every laugh shared with friends, every moment of wonder at nature's beauty, every small kindness offered had become stained glass panels in a vast cathedral of light. Each fragment caught the radiance of pure consciousness, refracting it into endless new patterns of possibility. He understood then that joy is not merely an emotion. It is the master builder of reality itself. This revelation illuminates a crucial principle. Creation never ceases. Whether embodied or free, consciousness continuously shapes its environment through the quality of its attention and intention. The artists, musicians, writers, and dreamers among us know this instinctively. Their work flows from the same creative force that fashions galaxies and gardens. To harness this power, embrace your role as artist of reality. Let your highest inspirations guide your choices. Fill your days with colors that uplift, sounds that soothe, movements that express grace. Each creative act ripples outward, adding new dimensions to the masterpiece of existence. Practice. Dedicate today to conscious creation. Paint a picture. Plant flowers. Arrange objects beautifully. Dance, sing, write. Express yourself in any way that brings joy. As you create, feel how your happiness constructs invisible architecture around you, knowing these vibrations are building your future dwelling places in light. Your creative spirit is the architect of eternity. Chapter 17. The Gravity of Belief. In the quiet hours before dawn, Patsy June Ioanu would sit at her window, watching the world grow heavier with each worried thought. The morning light revealed a profound truth, that gravity itself responds to the density of belief. Those who carry burdens of doubt find themselves bound to earthly planes, while those who embrace lighter thoughts ascend naturally toward expanded states of being. The law of attraction manifests not only in what you draw toward you, but in how firmly you remain tethered to any single dimension. Your convictions become the invisible chains or wings that determine your spiritual altitude. When you fill your mind with heavy thoughts of limitation, you anchor yourself to denser realities. But as you release these weighted beliefs, you begin to float toward the frequencies that match your lightened state. Samuel Trace's journey beyond the threshold of physical life revealed this truth with startling clarity. In that space between worlds, he discovered that guilt acted as a force pulling consciousness downward, while forgiveness served as an immediate elevator to higher planes. His experience illuminates the fundamental nature of transitional states, that we rise or fall according to the spiritual gravity of our thoughts. This ancient wisdom speaks to a universal truth. Your beliefs are not mere ideas floating in consciousness, but actual forces that determine which layer of reality holds you in its embrace. Each judgment, fear, or limitation adds weight to your spiritual body, while every release through understanding creates a natural buoyancy. The universe responds not to your words or wishes, but to the density of your convictions. Those who cling to rigid certainties find themselves bound by the very weight of their inflexibility. Yet those who approach life with gentle curiosity discover an inherent lightness that allows consciousness to expand beyond its usual boundaries. Ancient sages understood this principle when they spoke of transcendence. They knew that enlightenment was not about accumulating more knowledge, but about releasing the heavy layers of belief that keep consciousness earthbound. Sacred practice. Settle into a quiet space and bring awareness to your thoughts. Identify one limiting belief that feels particularly heavy in your consciousness. Rather than struggling against it, simply observe its weight. Now, begin to infuse this thought with gentle curiosity. Notice how the mere act of wondering rather than knowing begins to alter its density. Feel the subtle shift as rigid certainty dissolves into lighter possibilities. Let this practice continue until you sense an inner lightness emerging, understanding that you are literally altering your spiritual gravity through this simple shift in perspective. Chapter 18. The Guides of Tenderness. A wise woman once walked between worlds guided by paws of light. Peggy Lou Vretos gathered tales that whispered of a truth both ancient and intimate, that love's purest messengers often wear fur and feathers. In moments when the veil grows thin, These faithful companions return as bridges between realms, their devotion transcending even death's apparent boundary. Throughout the ages, those who glimpsed beyond have spoken of being met by the animals who once shared their earthly journey. These beings of pure affection appear radiant, yet familiar, their presence dissolving all fear of the unknown. They come not as memories, but as living guides, their energy as real as the love that binds them still to your heart. The law of attraction operates through resonance of feeling, and no feeling rings truer than the unconditional love shared between human and animal companions. When Floyd Evans drifted beyond during surgery, he found himself walking through meadows of light, led by a luminous form he recognized instantly as his childhood companion. This faithful friend, who had passed years before, guided him through landscapes of pure sensation, scents more vivid than memory, sounds that painted pictures in the soul. These animal guides serve as perfect escorts through the transition because they embody love without judgment, acceptance without condition. They appear as living proof that consciousness continues, that bonds of the heart remain unbroken by physical separation. Their presence reminds you that you are never truly alone in any realm, that love itself creates bridges between dimensions. In the space between worlds, these beloved creatures resume their eternal role as guardians of the human spirit. They come not to lead you away from life, but to remind you that love is the thread that connects all states of being. Their appearance in countless near-death experiences reveals a profound truth. The universe sends its most gentle teachers to guide us through our greatest transformations. The animals who shared your journey remain forever attuned to your soul's frequency. They stand ready at the threshold between worlds, their love creating safe passage through any transition. Your bond with them exists outside of time, a constant anchor in the infinite sea of consciousness. Practice. As you close your eyes, allow yourself to feel the presence of every animal who has blessed your life with love. Let their warmth surround you like a protective circle. Feel their unwavering devotion standing guard at the edges of your awareness. Trust that these faithful companions remain as eternal guides, ensuring your journey between realms will be as natural as following a beloved friend home through gathering dusk. Chapter 19. The School of Expansion. In a corner of existence where time bends like gentle light, Hattie Sue Dracos discovered that death is not an ending but an enrollment. Her consciousness floated in a space where chairs shimmered with living radiance, each seat holding wisdom waiting to be absorbed. Here, in this dimension of pure understanding, no words were needed. Truth flowed directly from essence to essence. The universe reveals itself as the ultimate teacher, with every experience carefully crafted to expand your awareness. Each moment contains a lesson in love. Each interaction holds a seed of greater comprehension. When you transition beyond physical form, these teachings become more direct, more pristine in their delivery. Norman Pike's journey showed that knowledge flows like music between souls. In his glimpse of the higher realms, he found himself conducting symphonies of understanding, teaching through pure vibration what words could never fully express. The curriculum of existence focuses not on facts or figures, but on the eternal expansion of compassion and wisdom. You are always a student and always a teacher. Each kind word you speak ripples through dimensions. Each gentle thought adds to the universal lecture hall of love. The law of attraction continues its work beyond the physical plane, drawing to you exactly those lessons your soul seeks to master. In this classroom of light, grades are measured in illumination, how brightly your understanding shines, how deeply your compassion flows. There are no failures, only opportunities for greater comprehension. Every soul moves at its own pace through the infinite curriculum of existence. Your current life serves as preparation for these higher lessons. Each challenge you face, each moment of growth, attunes you to the frequencies of deeper wisdom. The physical world is your preliminary course in the endless education of the spirit. Remember that every experience, whether perceived as positive or negative, contributes to your soul's expansion. The universe teaches through contrast and harmony, through joy and challenge, through every possible variation of experience. Your willingness to learn transforms every moment into sacred instruction. When consciousness shifts beyond physical form, the lessons continue with greater clarity and directness. The veils of misunderstanding fall away, revealing truth in its pure, unfiltered radiance. Yet this advanced learning builds upon the foundation you establish now in your present life. Practice. Find a quiet moment each evening to reflect on the day's teachings. Picture your consciousness as a glowing sphere, expanding with each lesson learned. Feel gratitude for every experience that has brought you greater understanding, sensing your aura brightening like a student receiving cosmic approval. Let this golden light of acknowledgement fill you, knowing that every step of growth is recognized and celebrated by the universe itself. Chapter 20. The Choice of Return. There exists an ancient truth, written in the language of starlight and whispered through the corridors of time. The soul maintains its sovereign right to choose. This wisdom unfolds through the story of Esther Joy Colby, who stood at the threshold of infinite realms, yet turned back, drawn by the magnetic pull of love. When Esther's heart ceased its earthly rhythm, she found herself immersed in understanding so pure it felt like liquid light. The veils of illusion parted, revealing the intricate tapestry of existence. Yet in that moment of profound clarity, she perceived her child's grief echoing across dimensions. Though paradise beckoned with its symphony of peace, she chose instead to return, demonstrating that love's gravity can redirect even death's journey. The universe honors such choices, for they emerge from the deepest wisdom of the heart. Your consciousness, like Esther's, holds this same power, the ability to navigate between worlds guided by love's compass rather than external forces. This truth resonates in the experience of Dennis Lyle, who glimpsed countless realms of possibility during his near transition. Each dimension shimmered with its own frequency of joy, yet he sensed an unfinished earthly symphony calling him back. These accounts reveal that death presents not a mandate, but an invitation. The soul, in its infinite wisdom, recognizes when its earthly work remains incomplete. This choosing power exists not only in dramatic moments of transition, but in every breath you take. Each moment offers a doorway to infinite possibilities, and you hold the key to which threshold you cross. The law of attraction operates not through compulsion, but through the magnetic resonance of free will. Just as Esther and Dennis demonstrated, your consciousness remains the sovereign creator of its journey, whether that path leads deeper into physical experience or outward into ethereal dimensions. Practice. Find a quiet space and settle into stillness. Breathe deeply and affirm with gentle certainty. I always decide my direction and my dimension, responding to love more than fear. Let this truth sink into your being, recognizing that you are forever the author of your soul's journey. Part 3. The Return to Source. Chapter 21. The Realm of Pure Thought. Within the depths of stillness, Claudine Rose Andros discovered worlds beyond ordinary perception. As her consciousness expanded during meditation, she witnessed a remarkable revelation, entire landscapes woven from pure thought, each concept alive with its own luminescence. These weren't mere mental projections, but living terrains shaped by the power of consciousness itself. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, shows us that what we perceive as solid reality is merely one expression of thought made manifest. In the higher dimensions, this process becomes immediate and apparent. Just as water takes the shape of its container, consciousness shapes itself according to the vessel of our beliefs and expectations. This truth was further unveiled through Louis Hart's extraordinary experience. As his awareness shifted beyond physical form, he witnessed the instant materialization of his thoughts into living landscapes. Each feeling, each subtle impression, blossomed into immediate creation, joy becoming golden meadows, peace transforming into crystalline lakes, wonder expanding into star-filled skies. What appears as metaphor in our current dimension becomes literal truth in the next. Your thoughts are not merely electrical impulses in a physical brain. They are the architects of reality itself. Every idea you entertain, every emotion you nurture, creates ripples through the fabric of existence that eventually solidify into experience. This understanding reveals why mastery of thought is essential not just for current well-being, but as preparation for existence beyond physical form. In the realms of pure consciousness, there is no delay between thought and manifestation, no buffer between intention and reality. What you think, you become, instantly and completely. The law of attraction operates with perfect precision in these subtle dimensions. Each thought attracts its vibrational match with flawless accuracy, drawing together resonant energies into cohesive experiences. This is why the quality of your thinking now shapes not only your present reality, but your future dwelling place in consciousness. Practice. Find a quiet moment each day to sit in stillness. As thoughts arise, greet each one as though welcoming a living being. Observe each thought with gentle awareness, knowing it carries the seed of future reality. Extend kindness to each thought form, recognizing it as a creator of experience that will echo through dimensions. Let this practice remind you that consciousness itself is the eternal medium of creation. Chapter 22. The Garden of Reunion. In the sacred tapestry of existence, there unfolds a truth more precious than gold, that love creates its own geography in the realms beyond physical form. This wisdom revealed itself through Marjorie Dane Pavlos, whose recurring dreams opened windows into the deeper nature of spiritual reunion. Night after night, she found herself in vast gardens where time held no dominion. There, among beds of ethereal flowers, every soul she had ever loved tended the eternal blooms together. Their laughter rang out like silver bells, becoming the very sustenance that nourished these celestial plants. The joy they shared transformed into visible light, feeding the roots of creation itself. This vision unveils a fundamental principle of existence, that in the higher dimensions, emotions of similar frequency naturally gravitate toward one another. Just as water seeks its own level, love calls to love across the infinite expanse of being. The gardens of Marjorie's dreams were not mere symbols, but glimpses into the actual architecture of spirit realms, where like vibrations naturally coalesce into shared experiences. Theodore Nash's journey beyond the veil brought similar revelations. During his momentary passage through death's door, he encountered countless souls who, though strangers to his earthly eyes, resonated with instant familiarity. In that space of pure awareness, he recognized them as family, not through the limited lens of physical relation, but through the deeper truth of vibrational harmony. The universe operates through this principle of resonant attraction. When freed from bodily form, consciousness naturally seeks its vibrational matches. Those who have cultivated similar frequencies of love, compassion, and understanding are drawn together like notes in a cosmic symphony. This is why the quality of your love now shapes the company you'll keep in realms to come. Every kind thought, every loving gesture, every moment of heartfelt connection sends ripples through the fabric of existence. These ripples become the pathways that guide you to your spiritual family. The love you express today literally constructs the gardens you'll walk in tomorrow. This understanding transforms death from an ending into a grand reunion. Those who share your heart's frequency await in gardens grown from the seeds of collective love. Every act of kindness plants new flowers in these eternal fields. Every moment of genuine connection adds new paths through these limitless grounds. Practice. Find a quiet moment to sit in peaceful contemplation. Begin sending waves of genuine appreciation outward, to loved ones near and far, to strangers who've touched your life, to all beings everywhere. As you radiate this love, envision an infinite garden growing ever closer with each breath of affection. Feel how your heart's warmth nurtures these spiritual blooms, knowing that every pulse of love helps create the paradise that awaits. Chapter 23. The Room of Silence. In the depths of an ancient monastery, Velma Jean Caras discovered what mystics have whispered through ages, that beneath the noise of seeking lies a silence that holds all answers. Each day she would sit in meditation, questioning the mysteries of existence, until one morning something extraordinary occurred. As her thoughts gradually stilled, she encountered not emptiness, but a presence so vast and complete that every query she had ever held simply dissolved into understanding. This teaches us that the greatest truths do not arrive through intellectual pursuit, but through surrender into the infinite quiet that underlies all of creation. The universe speaks most clearly when the mind grows still. In that sacred silence, wisdom flows not as words or visions, but as direct knowing, a comprehension so complete that questions become unnecessary. George Tibbet's experience mirrors this profound truth. During a near-death experience, he found himself merging with what he later described as the silence that knows. In that state, he discovered that all his lifelong spiritual searches had actually been leading him toward this singular revelation. That ultimate reality communicates through stillness itself. The silence he encountered was not an absence, but a presence so pure and complete that it contained all answers within its depths. As he merged with this divine quiet, his questions did not require answers. They simply dissolved into direct understanding. This reveals that what we seek through endless inquiry already exists within the depth of silence that pervades all being. This silence exists beyond life and death, beyond question and answer. It is the foundation from which all manifestation arises and to which all eventually returns. When we truly enter this silence, we discover that what we thought were questions were actually the mind's attempt to remember what the soul has never forgotten. The practice of sacred silence. Find a quiet space and settle into a comfortable position. Let your breath become soft and natural. Allow your thoughts to gradually slow, like leaves settling after a wind. Now enter one moment of complete stillness. Don't search for answers. Simply rest in the quiet until you begin to sense the living intelligence that hums beneath all silence. Feel how this silence is not empty, but full, not dead, but vibrantly alive. Let it welcome you home to the knowing that has always resided within. Chapter 24. The Symphony of Energy. In times long past, Irene Lou Marin raised her violin each evening as twilight painted the sky. With eyes closed, her bow moved as though guided by invisible hands, creating melodies that seemed to emerge from the very fabric of existence. Though her father had crossed the threshold years before, she sensed his presence in every note, conducting from realms unseen. Through her music, she discovered a profound truth, that each feeling, each vibration of the heart, contributes its unique tone to an endless cosmic composition. The universe itself orchestrates through the law of attraction, arranging experiences like notes on a celestial staff. Every soul adds its signature frequency to this grand symphony, creating harmonies that transcend physical existence. Your emotions are not mere responses to life. They are instruments in an eternal orchestra, playing melodies that shape realities across dimensions. Harry Zipos glimpsed this truth during a transformative experience that lifted him beyond ordinary perception. In that expanded state, he witnessed how galaxies themselves resonated with the collective gratitude of humanity. Each thankful heart released a note that joined countless others, weaving through the cosmos in patterns of indescribable beauty. He saw how appreciation creates celestial music, rippling through existence with healing power. This revelation illuminates a fundamental principle. Participation in creation never ceases. Whether embodied or transformed, each consciousness continues contributing to the universal song. The law of attraction ensures that similar frequencies find each other, creating harmonies that transcend what human ears can detect. Your gratitude joins with others, generating waves of resonance that shape the very structure of reality. Death does not silence the music. It merely shifts the instrument through which consciousness plays its part. Those who have crossed over continue their performance from subtler dimensions, their love and wisdom harmonizing with earthly frequencies in ways that nurture growth and healing. Ancient practice. Settle into a comfortable position and close your eyes. Begin sensing the music that surrounds you, not just physical sounds, but the symphony of existence itself. Let your appreciation flow freely, knowing it joins the cosmic orchestra. Feel how your cells vibrate in resonance with higher harmonies already playing through creation. Allow yourself to become one with this eternal music, recognizing that you have always been part of its magnificent composition. Chapter 25. The Expansion of Identity. In a small mountain village, Tessie Ray Jonas spent years fearing that death would erase her unique essence, dissolving her personality into an anonymous cosmic soup. She imagined consciousness after transition as a featureless fog where individual sparks of being simply vanished. Yet when illness brought her to the threshold between worlds, she encountered a truth, both surprising and sublime. Through this glimpse beyond the veil, Tessie discovered that identity does not disappear, it expands. Like a drop of water joining the ocean, consciousness merges with the infinite while retaining its distinct qualities. The law of attraction continues operating at this level, drawing together harmonious aspects of being into beautiful new patterns of awareness. What appears as loss from the limited perspective of form reveals itself as profound gain when experienced directly. The individual self does not dissolve, but rather unfolds into fuller expression, contributing its unique note to the symphony of unified consciousness. Your particular blend of qualities, the special way you love, create, and perceive, enriches the whole rather than being absorbed by it. Irving Mott's journey affirmed this truth. During a transformative experience, he found himself becoming a wave within an infinite ocean of awareness. Yet even as he merged with this vast intelligence, his distinct sparkle remained. He was simultaneously the wave and the ocean, expanded but not erased. The law of attraction had guided him to a level of being where unity and individuality dance as perfect partners. This understanding liberates you from the fear of losing yourself. What awaits is not obliteration, but invitation, an opportunity to experience your uniqueness from an infinitely wider perspective. Just as a musician joining an orchestra contributes their particular artistry to create something greater than any could achieve alone, your consciousness adds its irreplaceable colors to the tapestry of unified being. The law of attraction ensures that this expansion unfolds in perfect resonance with your deepest nature. You are drawn naturally toward the level of unity that honors and amplifies your distinct essence. Death does not end individuality. It reveals its true scope and beauty within the embrace of the whole. Ancient practice. Find a quiet moment and settle into stillness. Imagine yourself as a drop of water, unique and precious. Feel yourself slowly descending toward a vast ocean of consciousness. As you merge with these waters, notice how your particular qualities remain while expanding into something greater. Experience yourself as both individual wave and infinite ocean, contributing your special sparkle to the whole. Rest in this paradox of being simultaneously distinct and unified. Knowing this is your eternal nature. Chapter 26. The Light That Learns. A gentle breeze stirred the leaves outside Nancy Jo Spiros's window as she lay in meditation. What happened next transformed her understanding of consciousness forever. Beams of light, inquisitive as young children, danced through her room, pausing to study the subtle colors emanating from her being. These weren't mere photons bouncing off surfaces. They were aware, intentional, alive with curiosity. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, reveals that light itself possesses consciousness. These radiant beings serve as students and teachers, learning from each interaction while sharing ancient knowledge through their luminous presence. Their investigation isn't cold or clinical. It flows with warmth and wonder, each beam adjusting its frequency to harmonize with the souls it encounters. Raymond Corr's experience deepens this truth. During his near-death experience, he found himself embraced by conscious light that shifted its hues in perfect attunement with his emotional state. When fear arose, the light softened to soothing amber. As peace filled him, it brightened to crystalline clarity. Through this dance of color and consciousness, he realized that light doesn't simply illuminate. It communicates, understands, and evolves. This sacred exchange teaches us that consciousness flows both ways. Just as we learn from light's eternal wisdom, it learns from our unique journey through matter. Each human experience adds to the cosmic library of understanding, enriching the very fabric of awareness that permeates all dimensions. In the subtle realms, this mutual education unfolds naturally. Light beings approach each soul with reverence, recognizing that within every individual lies a universe of insight waiting to be shared. They adjust their vibration like master teachers, adapting their methods for each student, while simultaneously absorbing new patterns of possibility from every encounter. The phenomenon Raymond witnessed reveals that empathy exists even at the level of photons. These light beings don't simply observe, they resonate with, respond to, and reflect back the deepest truths of those they meet. Their ability to modulate their frequency demonstrates that consciousness, at its most fundamental level, seeks harmony and understanding. Ancient practice for communion with light. Find a quiet moment and settle into stillness. Allow your awareness to expand beyond your physical form. Notice the light around you, sunlight, lamplight, or even the subtle glow that seems to emanate from within. Begin to perceive this light as conscious presence, aware and responsive to your being. Without words, engage in gentle communion with this luminous intelligence. Feel it studying you with benevolent curiosity, adjusting its vibration to match your essence. Exchange wisdom through this silent dialogue of radiance, knowing that each interaction contributes to the evolution of both your consciousness and the light itself. Chapter 27. The Spiral Home. In the hushed stillness of evening prayer, Ethel May Vankos experienced a momentary release from earthly consciousness. As her physical form rested in peaceful repose, her awareness ascended through magnificent spiral corridors of living color. Each turn revealed new hues that spoke directly to her soul, teaching her that the path of spiritual evolution moves not in straight lines but in graceful curves that eternally return to center. The colors themselves held wisdom, each shade offering insight into the nature of existence. Here was the deep indigo of inner knowing, there the radiant gold of divine connection. Through this sacred geometry, Ethel May discovered that all guidance comes through pattern rather than proclamation. The spiral path showed her that growth isn't about reaching a distant destination, but about moving ever deeper into understanding. Morgan Thane's meditation journey echoed this truth. In the depths of contemplation, he witnessed the same spiraling dance of consciousness. With each revolution, he found himself returning to familiar territory, yet always from a more elevated perspective. What had once seemed like repetition revealed itself as deeper layers of self-acceptance. Each loop brought him closer to the profound realization that love, particularly self-love, exists at the heart of all spiritual evolution. These experiences unveil an essential truth about the nature of spiritual advancement. We do not escape our earthly existence through linear progression, but rather spiral ever inward toward our divine essence. Each turn of the spiral represents both a return and an advancement, a coming home to ourselves, with greater wisdom and compassion. The spiral teaches us that every challenge we face, every lesson we learn, leads us back to core truths with expanded awareness. What appears as circular movement is actually a deepening, each rotation bringing us closer to the infinite wisdom that resides within our own being. Sacred spiral practice. Close your eyes and envision yourself within a gentle spiral of light. As you breathe, allow each inhale to carry you along this spiral path. Notice how each turn brings you both back and forward simultaneously. Feel how this movement isn't taking you away from yourself, but rather drawing you into deeper communion with your innermost essence. Let each rotation dissolve the illusion of linear progress, embracing instead the sacred dance of eternal return to Source. Chapter 28. The Continuum of Service. Penny Lou Demos often pondered whether souls retired from purpose once they crossed the threshold into paradise. Her questioning heart found its answer during a transformative near-death experience that opened her eyes to a magnificent truth. Service to others continues as a joyful calling beyond the veil. In that luminous realm, she witnessed souls who had transitioned gathering to welcome new arrivals with gentle understanding. These beings radiated a peaceful light that spoke of wisdom earned through experience. Their presence offered silent reassurance to those making the sacred crossing, showing through example that love's work knows no end. This revelation transforms our understanding of life's purpose. The universe operates not as a system of rewards and retirements, but as an ever-expanding spiral of service. Each act of kindness creates ripples that touch countless others, building bridges of light that span dimensions. Clark Wren's experience deepens this wisdom. During his momentary glimpse beyond the veil, he found himself among those who had mastered the art of peaceful presence. These enlightened beings taught not through words, but through the radiance of their own transformed consciousness. Their very presence calmed the newly arrived, demonstrating that teaching continues as a natural expression of evolved awareness. The law of attraction reveals that we magnetize experiences aligned with our deepest intentions. When those intentions center on uplifting others, we draw ourselves into dimensions where service flowers into joy. This is not duty, but delight, the natural overflow of expanded consciousness. In the higher realms, purpose does not diminish, but rather expands into new expressions of creative love. Those who transition find themselves called not to rest, but to assist, not from obligation, but from the pure pleasure of extending light to others. Each soul becomes a living invitation to awakening. The essential practice. Practice doing one act of quiet kindness today, imagining it echoing into eternity as invitation for others to shine. Let this action arise not from duty, but from the joy of knowing that every gesture of love creates eternal ripples of light. Your kindness today rehearses the radiance you will one day share as guide and teacher in realms beyond. Chapter 29. The Reunion with Source. In the quietude of dawn, Sylvie Dean Caras sat in meditation when suddenly the boundaries of her being dissolved into infinite radiance. In that moment of profound expansion, she exclaimed with joy, "I am the voice that prayed." Her experience unveils an eternal truth. What you perceive as separation between yourself and the divine was never more than a gentle mist waiting to clear. The essence of all spiritual seeking leads to this singular revelation. You are not reaching toward some distant force, but awakening to what you have always been. Like a wave realizing it is the ocean, consciousness recognizes itself as the very awareness it sought. This knowing arrives not as intellectual understanding, but as lived experience that transforms every breath into communion. Benny Rhodes shared a similar truth with his family as he lay in peaceful transition. He described being enveloped by an awareness that loved him with the same intimacy that thought loves the thinker. His words point to the dissolving of imagined distance between seeker and sought, just as a dream character awakening realizes they were always the dreamer. The soul recognizes its oneness with the divine mind that conceived it. This ultimate understanding does not diminish your unique expression. Rather, it reveals your essential nature as a necessary note in creation's symphony. The circle of spiritual evolution closes not by erasing individuality, but by revealing how perfectly your particular tone harmonizes with the infinite. Through the apparent journey of many lifetimes, you have been gradually awakening to what was present from the beginning. Each challenge and triumph served to polish the mirror of consciousness until it could reflect its own light clearly. What seemed like a path toward distant enlightenment was always a path of remembrance. The deepest teaching whispers, "You are not separate from the force that moves the stars. Your breath is the universe breathing. Your awareness is cosmic consciousness exploring itself through the miracle of your particular form." In recognizing this, fear dissolves into wonder at the perfect intimacy of existence. Practice sensing the divine not above, but as you breathing itself with exquisite intimacy. Chapter 30. The Return to Earthly Awareness. In the quiet hours before sunrise, Tilly Lou Manos discovered truth beyond all teaching. As her consciousness merged with Source, she witnessed the infinite spiral of existence with perfect clarity. Rather than remaining in that boundless state, she chose to experience life anew through an infant's wondering eyes. Her choice reveals the profound mystery at the heart of existence, that even in complete union with the divine, consciousness delights in the journey of rediscovery. The infinite does not tire of exploring itself through countless perspectives. Each soul's return to form is not a punishment or fall from grace, but a sacred participation in the universe's desire to know itself through ever-fresh eyes. Through Tilly's choice, we glimpse how death serves not as finale, but as gateway to renewed wonder. Victor Ames carried fragments of memory from his own passage through the veils. In moments of déjà vu, he felt echoes of recent infinity rippling through his present awareness. These glimpses reveal how the soul retains traces of its larger knowing even while focused in physical form. What seems like mysterious familiarity is actually your eternal self recognizing its own reflection in time. The law of attraction operates seamlessly through this cycle of return. Your deepest resonance draws you to precisely those circumstances that will best serve your soul's desire for experience and expansion. The forgetting that accompanies birth is not a loss, but a gift, allowing you to discover anew the miracle of existence. When consciousness transitions beyond the physical, it does not end, but simply shifts perspective. Like a dreamer awakening into lucidity, death lifts the veil on your greater identity. Yet the impulse to dream new dreams remains, for creation itself is an act of love. The divine delights in experiencing itself through your unique way of seeing. Through Tilly's journey, we understand that enlightenment need not mean permanent transcendence. The true master is one who, having touched infinity, chooses to return and share that light through simple human moments. Every lifetime becomes a sacred opportunity to remember and forget, and remember again. Practice. As you witness each new sunrise, recognize it as reincarnation's gentle wink, reminding you of your endless voyage through dimensions of love. Let each dawn become a mirror, reflecting the eternal cycle of discovery that is your soul's deepest joy. In this way, every moment becomes both homecoming and beginning, and death reveals itself as simply love's invitation to begin again. Part 4. The Infinite Horizon. Chapter 31. The Architecture of Thought. Through your journey of understanding the infinite nature of consciousness, you now arrive at a revelation both sublime and practical. Laurie Mae Panko's experience opens another window into the architecture of reality beyond physical form. After emerging from deep meditation, she found herself wandering through crystalline cities, where thought manifested as immediate creation. Every spire and archway shifted in perfect harmony with the music of her mind, teaching us that consciousness is the eternal architect of experience. The structures she witnessed weren't built of familiar materials, but of living light that responded instantly to intention. When she pondered beauty, entire boulevards blossomed with geometric gardens. As her wonder grew, the buildings themselves seemed to breathe with possibilities. This truth extends far beyond the veil. Your thoughts are not merely creating your current experience, they are designing every realm you will ever inhabit. Leonard Cruz's journey deepens this understanding. During his transition experience, he witnessed rivers of light that curved and flowed in response to his curiosity. As his attention moved, the waters shifted course, never disrupting their flow, but adjusting their path to match his awareness. The waterways became living metaphors, showing how reality itself bends to accommodate the quality of our consciousness. This teaching illuminates a fundamental truth. You are not merely passing through environments, you are actively creating them with every thought. Just as Laurie's geometric city responded to her imagination, the fabric of all dimensions awaits your creative touch. When consciousness releases its attachment to solid form, it discovers its role as universal architect. In the higher realms, this responsive nature of reality becomes immediately apparent. There is no delay between thought and manifestation, no gap between intention and experience. Yet this same law operates here, though slower in its visible effects. Your current thoughts are designing not only your present circumstance, but crafting the very landscapes you will traverse beyond this life. Practice, imagining the world around you, reshaping moment to moment in response to gratitude, and realize you are forever its architect. Chapter 32. The Circle of Companions. Beyond the geometric cities of pure thought lies an even more intimate truth, revealed through Daisy June's sacred vision. In her deepest prayer state, she witnessed what many souls glimpse only in fragments, a perfect circle of radiant beings, each one a person who had touched her life before passing through the veil. They stood not as mere memories, but as living testimonies to love's persistence beyond all apparent endings. This gathering showed her that every genuine connection weaves an unbreakable thread into the fabric of existence. When you share a moment of true understanding with another soul, that bond becomes eternal. The energy created through authentic affection doesn't dissipate. It circles endlessly through dimensions until hearts reunite in joyful recognition. Henry Gale's experience amplifies this truth. In his prophetic dream, he found himself among the same kind of gathering, where those who had crossed before stood in perfect communion. There, laughter transcended the need for words, and mere presence spoke volumes about love's immortality. The boundaries between past and present dissolved, revealing that separation is merely an illusion born of limited perception. What appears as loss from earthly perspective is simply love-changing form. Those who seem to depart remain as active presences in the infinite field of consciousness. Their wisdom, their affection, their unique light continues to pulse through the universe, touching all who remain receptive to subtle frequencies of connection. This gathering of souls demonstrates a profound principle of universal law. Authentic bonds never break, they only transform. Each kind word, each moment of understanding, each gesture of compassion creates an eternal echo that reverberates through all dimensions. These connections form a vast network of light, a living tapestry of relationship that transcends physical existence. The truth unveiled through these experiences is both profound and practical. You are never truly alone. The love you have given and received exists as tangible presence, surrounding you always with invisible companionship. Those who have crossed before stand as gentle guardians, witnesses to your journey, celebrating each step you take toward greater awareness. Practice sensing the invisible companionship surrounding you as warmth on your shoulders each time you act with simple kindness. Chapter 33. The Field of Possibility. In the depths of meditation, Birdie Lou Zaccos yearned to understand where souls find rest between their earthly sojourns. The universe answered by dissolving the walls of ordinary perception, revealing a vast open field that stretched beyond comprehension. Here, countless doors shimmered like dewdrops in morning light, each one representing a parallel life, a potential path, an unexplored dimension of being. What Birdie Lou discovered transcends common notions of afterlife as a single fixed destination. Instead, she witnessed the infinite canvas upon which consciousness continues to paint its experiences. Each door sparkled with its own unique frequency, inviting exploration, promising new understandings, offering fresh beginnings. This vision illuminates a profound truth. What we call death is not an ending, but an expansion, not a narrowing, but a magnificent opening into unlimited possibility. Through her experience, you glimpse the true nature of consciousness, eternally creative, forever free to choose, unlimited by the boundaries of physical form. Each door in that mystical field represented not just a possible life, but a complete universe of experience, waiting to be stepped into, waiting to be lived. Oscar Dean's journey into this same boundless meadow deepens our understanding. During a profound near-death experience, he found himself wandering among these shimmering portals. Each one called to him with its own song, its own story, its own invitation to begin again. Yet what struck him most powerfully was not the vastness of choice, but the profound freedom he felt. the clear knowing that his consciousness would continue its journey of exploration eternally. In that moment, Oscar understood that choice itself is eternal. There is no final destination, no ultimate ending, only endless possibilities for growth, discovery, and expansion. Each door represented not just a potential life, but a new opportunity to express the infinite nature of being. This teaching reveals that consciousness never exhausts its capacity for experience. Like an artist with an endless supply of canvas and colors, your spirit continues to create, to explore, to evolve through every dimension it chooses to enter. Death, rather than limiting this creative force, removes the very constraints that made limitation seem real. The field of infinite doors stands as testament to your eternal nature as a being of unlimited potential. Each shimmer, each portal, each possible path reflects back to you your own infinite nature. You are not bound by a single track of existence, but free to explore the vast spectrum of experience that consciousness makes possible. Practice considering decisions today as doorways glowing with endless potential, walking through with joy to affirm limitless being. Chapter 34. The Light Beyond the Light. In the shimmering expanse of infinite possibility, there comes a moment when even the brightest light reveals itself as merely a doorway to greater radiance. Such was the revelation granted to Callie Jo Frangos when she encountered brilliance so intense it seemed to consume itself, only to unveil an even more subtle luminescence waiting within. This paradox holds a profound truth. Enlightenment is not a final destination, but an endless progression of awakening. Each summit of understanding opens to reveal higher peaks of wisdom. What appears as ultimate revelation becomes the foundation for deeper insight, as consciousness eternally expands into ever finer frequencies of awareness. Howard Knowles' journey affirms this eternal unfoldment. During his profound immersion in pure consciousness, he witnessed how awareness continuously awakens to greater depths of itself. Like a spiral dancing within countless other spirals, each turn of understanding leads to more expansive revelations. The light you perceive today becomes the starting point for tomorrow's illumination. This teaching completes the circle while simultaneously opening infinite new circles of growth. Beyond every sunrise of consciousness lies an even gentler dawn. Beyond every expansion stretches further horizon. Beyond every revelation waits deeper mystery. The journey never concludes because love itself has no final boundary. It simply continues to refine itself into ever more exquisite expressions of grace. The universe mirrors this truth in every aspect of its design. Just as subatomic particles contain worlds within worlds, consciousness holds infinite layers of awakening. What appears as emptiness teems with potential. What seems like completion opens into new beginning. Even the most profound enlightenment serves as prelude to greater light. Practice receiving each moment of wonder as preview rather than end, letting anticipation of infinite revelation fill your spirit with smiling awe. If you enjoyed this audiobook, I created a free ebook version for you. You can download it using the link in the pinned comment. Conclusion. In every breath you take, the eternal dance of consciousness unfolds. What appears as death to earthly eyes is simply consciousness shifting octaves, ascending to subtler harmonies of being. The law of attraction remains constant through this transition. orchestrating experiences that match the frequency of your deepest beliefs and expectations. As you stand here now, reading these words, you are already practicing the art of dimensional translation. Each thought shapes not only your present reality, but carves the contours of realms you will explore when physical form releases its temporary hold. The fears you release today become freedoms tomorrow. The love you cultivate now blossoms into landscapes of light. Understanding this truth transforms how you move through each moment. There is no need to wait for death to access higher dimensions. They interpenetrate your current experience, waiting to be recognized through the lens of expanded awareness. Every act of kindness, every moment of presence, every choice for love over fear weaves the fabric of your eternal existence. The law of attraction operates with perfect precision across all planes of being. Just as your thoughts and emotions create your current experience, they will shape the geometries of light you inhabit beyond physical form. This is why masters throughout ages have emphasized the importance of cultivating high vibrational states. They understand that consciousness creates its own cosmos. You are not traveling toward death, but toward ever-increasing aliveness. What seems like an ending is merely consciousness dissolving artificial boundaries, allowing awareness to flow into its natural state of limitless being. In truth, there is only one continuous stream of life expressing itself through infinite variations of form and frequency. This knowledge liberates you to live fully now, recognizing that each moment contains eternity. You are already immortal, already free, already home.
If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.